Now, earlier this year, I took a look at the HP NV13, the refresh model with the Whiskey Lake processor, came away extremely impressed, loved its price to performance value, loved its display and all metal design. I thought it had a sleek look, everything you'd want in a thin and light laptop. So HP just refreshed it here for mid-2019 with this. This is the HP NV13. It's all new. It's a refreshed design, a slight changes, not too much in terms of radical changes, but enough to say this is a really good design. Hey everybody, it's Andrew, and this is my review of the all-new HP NV13. Coming up. Today's video is brought to you by PDF Element Pro, the PDF editor that allows you to effortlessly edit, convert, create, secure, and work with PDFs, including scanned documents. It's available for both Windows and Mac, and it comes in at a great price. Right now, there's a special discount going on. You can get 50% off PDF Element Pro, originally $129, now for $64.50. That's an incredible savings. And to help spread the word, if you retweet, you'll get free gifts. Even better. Don't forget to check the link below for more information. So head on over to pdf.iskysoft.com to get your copy of PDF Element Pro, and this way you'll be able to edit your PDFs like a true pro. Now, in the interest of transparency and full disclosure, HP sent this over for my unbiased opinion. I'm not being paid by HP. I'm not being sponsored by HP. All the opinions you're about to hear are my own, and no one is seeing this video before its release. The review unit is on loan from HP, and once this review is done, I am sending it back to HP. Now, before we get to the unboxing, here's a quick rundown of the specs. My review unit has a 13.3-inch 4K UHD display, a touch display. It's also available in the HP SureView Full HD option. As far as the CPU, Intel Core i7-8565U, 8th generation quad-core CPU. Now, as far as graphics, NVIDIA GeForce MX250 with 2GB of GDDR5 RAM, 512GB of PCIe NVMe SSD storage, 16GB of DDR4 RAM, and it has Intel Dual Band Wireless AC 9560 with Bluetooth 5.0. It comes in a very thin and light package at 2.82 pounds or 1.28 kilograms. Now, as far as pricing is concerned, a very competitive starting price of $749.99. Price as tested, $1159.99. These are great prices, especially for what you're getting. But that's enough with the specs. Let's find out what you get inside the box. Let's open it up. In the box is your extension cord, a 65-watt power adapter. It also uses a barrel pin connector. You could also charge via USB-C. You get your setup guide as well as warranty and safety information, and of course the unit itself. Now, holding it for the first time, very premium build, very high-end with its all-metal design. Now, this comes in two color options, pale gold and what you see here, natural silver. It also comes in slightly slimmer and thinner than last year's model. Okay, now when it comes to the port selection, it's okay, not great, but on the left side, what you do get is a 3.5mm audio jack, a USB-A 3.1, and one USB Type-C port. It's a Gen 1 Type-C port. Unfortunately, it's not Thunderbolt 3. There are no Thunderbolt 3 ports on this device, which is probably because they're trying to save costs. Now, moving over to the right side, you get your kill switch for your webcam, a microSD card slot for storage expansion, another USB-A 3.1, and you have your power port where you'll charge this device. Now, to me, one of the best parts of this laptop is its display. It's a 13.3-inch 4K UHD display, a multi-touch display, resolution 3840 by 2160. That's, of course, the one that HP supplied me. There is also a full HD option. It's the HP SureView, and that's also supposed to be a very nice display and will, of course, give you better battery life. Now, this 4K display has some very deep blacks, some very vibrant colors, excellent for watching Netflix and YouTube. I have no complaints. It's actually done a really good job. And I especially like the fact that it's a bright display coming in at 356 nits, making this a good choice for both indoor and outdoor use, and that's always good. And it covers the color gamut very well, 97% sRGB, 73% Adobe RGB, so for those looking to use this for Lightroom, Photoshop, and to do video editing, this is a good choice. And I really appreciate the fact that it has some really super slim side bezels, although you will notice the chin on the bottom, not too pronounced, but definitely noticeable. And on the top, you will notice a space where it does, of course, house the webcam, so there is a little bit of a bezel there. But overall, I think it has a really nice modern look. Now, I also like the fact that this is a touch display, which worked very well, was very responsive. I think they did a good job in that regard. Want to see more videos like this? Why not hit that subscribe button and make sure you hit that notification bell? This way you'll be alerted every time I post a new video. And make sure you follow me on social media, especially Twitter and Instagram, because that's where I post all the latest updates. Now, when it comes to the keyboard, I'm a big fan. It's got about 1.2, 1.3 millimeters of key travel, which is really good, especially comfortable for typing for extended periods of time. Good tactile feedback as well. It has a multi-stage backlight that allows you to get work done in a dark room or a dimly lit environment. Now, the keys light up white, get very bright, and make it easy to read in that dark room. That's always good. It's also an edge-to-edge keyboard, so not a lot of wasted space. Now, when you open the lid, you get a really nice typing angle, and that's thanks to that lift hinge. That's very similar to the Ergo lift hinge on the Asus ZenBook laptops. Now, when it comes to the touchpad, I thought the sizing was decent, although I wish it used precision drivers as opposed to the Synaptics drivers that they did go with. Now, as far as the responsiveness, it's okay. Two-finger scrolling seemed to work well. All your Windows 10 gestures seem to work as advertised. I just am a bigger fan of the precision drivers. They just seem a little bit more responsive. Now, having said that, this isn't terrible. It's definitely usable and definitely gets the job done. Now, another difference from last year's model is the fact they moved the fingerprint scanner from the side of the laptop to below the keyboard, a better placement in my opinion. Now, I thought it worked well, setup was easy, and registered my finger pretty much every time I used it. Now, it's Windows Hello compatible, so it allows you to log in with finger recognition, and that to me was always great. Now, the privacy switch that will kill the webcam to give you more privacy and security is located on the right side. I love the fact that they include that on this. Now, as far as the webcam itself, let's take a look to see how it fares. Okay, so this is the front-facing camera on the HP NV13, and actually it's pretty good. I'm actually impressed with this. This is definitely good if you need to Skype or if you need to do a video conference. This definitely would get the job done. Now, as far as overall, I think the HP NV13 has a lot of great things going for it, especially its price. I think the price to performance ratio is excellent. I think you're getting a lot of bang for the buck. I want to know what you think. Let me know in the comment section below. But as far as the camera is concerned, it's actually pretty good. Okay, so now let's talk about the performance. It's actually good. Core i5-8565U, Whiskey Lake processor. It's a quad-core processor. This is good for productivity work. You're looking at Microsoft Office, doing emails, of course, web browsing, and of course, consuming media, watching Netflix, YouTube, and the like. Really good on this, especially with that 4K option when it comes to the display. It's also good for Photoshop, Lightroom, and to do 1080p video editing. Now, this does have a dedicated GPU, the NVIDIA GeForce MX250 with 2GB of GDDR5 RAM. So when it comes to gaming, you can do some gaming, of course, not AAA title gaming on its highest settings. That's not what this GPU is all about, but it does give a nice performance boost, that's for sure, when it comes to the graphics. And you can do some of the older titles at medium setting, I think is the sweet spot. You get the really good playable frame rates. But if you're thinking of using this 1080p, the highest settings, forget about it. That's not what this is all about. Now, the unit they supplied me with has a 512GB PCIe NVMe SSD drive, and here's how it did in terms of reads and writes on the Crystal Disk Mark test. Decent reads, decent writes. Kind of wish they were a little bit higher, to be honest, but overall, fast enough, that's for sure. Now, HP includes the HP Command Center, and what this allows you to do is choose the thermal profile that works best for you. So in cases where you need the best balance between performance and thermals, you're looking at HP recommended. If you want better performance, the fan will kick in, of course, under performance mode. And then there's the comfort mode. When things get a little too warm, switch it to that, cools things down. Okay, let's talk thermals, because on a thin and light laptop, that's always going to be a concern. And on this laptop, I thought they were actually pretty good. When you're doing normal, everyday tasks, you will hear the fans kick in every now and then, but nothing loud, nothing annoying. And I thought for the most part, they were really quiet. Now, when it's under heavy load, when you're putting a lot of stress on it, of course, those fans will kick in, and it will start the thermal throttle eventually, and you will notice a performance degradation. But that's true of any thin and light laptop, so always bear that in mind. But overall, I thought the thermals were actually pretty good. And I think you're getting those improved thermals that come with that hinge, which props up the keyboard, giving more airflow underneath, allows more ventilation, and that certainly helps. And that's one of the reasons I think we're seeing good numbers on this. Now, normally at this point, I would show you what's inside this laptop, what's user upgradable and what's not, but I reached out to HP and they didn't really want me opening this up, and to be honest with you, it didn't look very easy. So I'm going to tell you what I think is upgradable is the SSD. I'm pretty sure the RAM is soldered on. I couldn't get a straight answer from HP, but that's okay. They really don't want you going inside this laptop, and that was the message that they delivered to me. And since this is a review unit, I didn't want to damage it in any way, so I didn't want to risk opening it up. Now, when it comes to battery life, I think it's going to be a tale of two cities. And the reason I say that is the 4K display is, of course, a high-resolution display, more pixels to power, so it's not going to do quite as well. And obviously, you can see from the results here, 5 hours and 18 minutes on my continuous web surfing test. I expect another 2 to 3 hours at least on the full HD model. The good news is that if you do need to plug in, they supply a 65-watt power adapter that supports HP's fast charge. That'll give you 50% in 45 minutes, and you're looking at a full charge in just under 2 hours, which isn't too bad. Now, when it comes to the audio, the HP NV13 has a quad speaker setup. It's the Bang & Olufsen tuned speakers that we've seen in other models, and they're actually pretty good. They get pretty loud. They can fill up a mid-sized room quite nicely, although the bass is a little bit lacking. It's a little bit tinny in my opinion, but overall I think the sound was actually pretty decent. I think they did a good job with these quad speakers. Okay, so let's wrap it all up. Can I recommend the all-new HP NV13 from mid-2019? Is this a refresh worth your money? And the answer is absolutely. This is an exceptional value. Not only does it start at $749, I think the sweet spot is my review unit specs, the one that they sent me. It has not only a 4K touch display, it's got Whiskey Lake processor, the Core i7, a dedicated GPU, the NVIDIA GeForce MX250. It also has a sleek metal design, thin bezels, and overall sleek looks. No real deal breakers here as far as I'm concerned. Some might not like the fact that it doesn't have a Thunderbolt 3 port, although I understand it is a cost-cutting measure to keep the price down. No HDMI port, not real deal breaker for me, but some may need that. Average battery life, but again, to be expected with a 4K high-resolution display. And of course, the Synaptics Touchpad, not quite as responsive as a Precision Touchpad. But again, none of these are deal breakers. I'm going to give this a score of 90%, making the HP NV13 here for mid-2019 definitely worth your money. So what do you think about the HP NV13, the refresh model here for mid-2019? Checks all the boxes, absolutely love it. The thing I love about it the most, price to performance value is excellent. You're getting a lot for your money. For $1159, you get a 4K display, you get this premium all-metal design, you get the thin bezels, you get the Whiskey Lake processor, the MX250 GPU, everything you'd want in a thin and light package. Perfect for the student, perfect for the business person on the go. There really are no negatives here, ladies and gentlemen. It's everything you'd want because you're not sacrificing any of the features for price. I mean, normally we see these very expensive laptops, you're going to pay an arm and a leg. That's not the case with the NV13. You're getting that 4K gorgeous display. It's a touch display. You're getting the really nice build quality, that all metal design, that chassis is really rock solid, and you're getting a dedicated GPU. But it's a definite performance boost worth having. But I'm curious to know what you think. Let me know in the comment section below. No real negatives. Lack of Thunderbolt 3, I think, are the things that people are going to point to. But again, keeping the price down was the focus by HP on this, and they pretty much accomplished that. The other thing they're going to want to know, how come there's no HDMI port? Not a deal breaker for me. Some might need it. Now, as far as battery life is concerned, I would say it's average, especially for the 4K model. Expect at least 2 to 3 hours more on the full HD model. But the 4K display is definitely worth it in my opinion, especially if you consume a lot of media, watching Netflix and YouTube. Definitely enjoyable on this laptop. This is an incredible value at $1159. I think this is the sweet spot. You're getting a lot of features at a good price. So head on over to pdf.iskysoft.com to get your copy of PDF Element Pro, and this way you'll be able to edit your PDFs like a true pro. So please hit the like button, please subscribe, please share this video. Don't forget to leave a comment in that comment section below. Let me know how I'm doing. Let me know if there's a device or something out there you think I should review. I'll do my best to try to make that happen. Don't forget to check me out on Facebook, on Twitter, Instagram, and of course my website, AMDtechreviews.com. So until next time, this is Andrew from AMD Tech. See ya.